Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste friends. There was a fantastic news a few days back from one of my friends. Her son, to her son was born a newborn baby girl a few days back, and it was a very enjoyable time. And after I think 10 or days, she came back to me on what would be the best method to choose a name for the child. So that way I thought I have been using some technique. I thought I will make a formalized Excel based on what I normally do and also present it to the public. So that way this Excel file emerged. I have named it Baby Name Excel Calculator. So it's astrology-based thanks to Vishti Larson's ideas and teachings from which I have learned these things. So I'll walk you through how the Excel is framed. So the DOB input sheet, you need to choose the items as usual. So I put True Chitra. Maybe I'll give an option to, I think that has got hidden here. But anyway, True Chitra is there. Once you put all the user inputs need to be given is, of course, no name is there. Baby girl I just put. Date, it was born on the 31st of Jan 2025. So you enter your date of birth, the baby's date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and the time zone. Rest are all calculated, so you don't have to worry about anything in this sheet other than this as usual. Now the main sheet is what is of importance to us, and in case you have entered multiple data there, you can pull out the girl of interest. Okay, essentially it happens once in a while, so just one data should be enough unless you want to verify this for multiple people. Okay, the technique involves 3 items, so I called it 1, 2 and 3. So based upon your DOB input, we have a table for the bodies and the degrees and the Rasi number, and we have the chart for the birth time. So the baby was born at some specific times in a specific place, so you have the chart already ready. So once, since the Lagna is known, immediately we find out what are the good planets for the Lagna. So that is automatically determined by what are the functional benefits for this Lagna sign. So in this case it is Mesha Lagna, and Mesha Lagna, Lagna Lord Mars anyway, Jupiter is the 9th Lord, so he is a benefic. Sun is the 5th Lord, so he is a benefic. Purely 9th and 5th Lords, 3rd Lagna Lord, all these will normally be benefic. And though Mars is the 8th Lord also, he is being the Lagna Lord, he becomes a benefic. So this particular UDF pulls out for a given Lagna sign who are the benefic planets. So that if you identify, your name should be based upon these planets that come to be functional benefics. Okay. In this case, Saturn happens to be a Badaka Lord, being for a Chara sign. For a mobile sign is the 11th Lord, so he is also placed in the 11th. So we normally don't prefer Saturn's names. And Venus is the Marakas, 2nd and 7th Lord, so that also we don't prefer. And Mercury is the 6th Lord and 3rd Lord, so that also we don't prefer. Jupiter, though as a 12th Lord, he happens to be Mula Trikona house is the 9th house. Therefore, here it is fairly Jupiter names. All these turn out to be good. Okay. Then here I asked the person to list out some names that they are basically thinking of. So these are baby names under consideration. So they are considering multiple names based upon their interest. So you can introduce more rows here. And I have all the alphabets of the Devanagari script I have put as a list here. So you can pull out, see this A is Arshya, this is Rudra, so Ra Varga, so Naina, Na Varga, and all that. So depending upon the name that you have chosen, you should also be pulling out the starting akshara of that particular name. So I have given it as Devanagari, so this will be useful to people who know that. So otherwise we might have to maybe put into some other website or chat GPT or something and get it. Okay. Now in the, I have, let me see, show you, unhide the workspace part, which is important. So thanks to Vistilation's beautiful website, maybe I will come to this part later. All the Devanagari aksharas, ka ka ga ga na cha cha ja ja na ta ta ta, the ka varga is linked to Mars, the cha varga to Venus, the ta varga to Mercury, the ta varga to up to the jnana, all that, to Jupiter, and the pa varga to Saturn. And the ya ra la va, if you see here ya ra la va, if you here it is to moon. Okay, and all the vowels a e are mapped to Surya. The shas all get mapped to Rahu Ketu. Both are Rahu and Ketu as nodes. That's all. So this is a table prepared for all the alphabets, the aksharas of the Devanagari script. And based upon this, if you have chosen a name, the first swara of that name, if it is A, Shriya, the A, that matters most, because that would dominate the planet governing the name. So this is automatically pulled out from the table that I immediately showed you. You for all the names that they have chosen, considered, this Excel maps the corresponding gragas. In this case, the functional benefics are only Sun, Mars and Jupiter. So you can choose, says Jupiter. So Jupiter names are Naina, Nitya, Dhatri, Niranjana and Dhriti for this case out of the sample that they gave. If you want to Mars, then it is the one that they have chosen, Krishita alone they have chosen. For Jupiter, Mars and Sun, if you choose, you can choose Arshya, Isha, Adya, Ishani and Arna. So these benefits, whatever is convenient to them, and suits them best, they can choose as per the Graha. So this is one aspect of it. In case you want to clear this off, clear it, and you can in fact use this also for filter. You can use Jupiter, Mars and Sun together, and you get the names of the filtered list that are suitable for the baby. This is one aspect to it. The other is, the first is as per Hoda chakra. The Hoda chakra is what I was talking about here. There are the 27 nakshatras, and Abhijit is also included. Therefore, there are 28 nakshatras. And Abhijit, if you see here, each nakshatra is a nakshatra pada. The first pada, second pada, third pada and fourth pada are mapped to, starting from Kritika nakshatra. This is the Vedic way. I, U, A and all that are mapped to Kritika. Rohini to O, Va, Vi, U and all that. So this is called the Hoda chakra. So if you know, so I have basically converted this to a easy Excel table where for each nakshatra and pada, the aksharas, the degree of the start of the nakshatra, the degree, the end of the nakshatra, and this is the span. Because the Abhijit comes in between, the span is always not exactly for one pada 3.33. It will be different if you see down the line. For Abhijit, for Uttarashada, the four padas are considered. You can read through this, how it is constructed here. So several opinions. So you read through this, you know, and therefore this is how the split is done. For Uttarashada, Abhijit, Shravana, which interface this Abhijit nakshatra, which is the, therefore the total nakshatras is 28. 28 into 4 is 112. So therefore 112 aksharas get mapped to the 112 padas. If you see here this table. So if you come back to the main sheet, Now if you know the moon's degree, the rule here is in the Hoda chakra. So if you see here, the Hoda chakra has a number of aksharas mapped to all these Pisces and all, because each degree is each span of 3.33 degrees is one akshara. Okay, so depending upon where the moon is, in this person's case, the baby's case, moon is in a particular degree in Kumbha Rasi. Therefore, it is at 310 degrees. So, if I map and find out what is the position of the four kendras. So, the Lagna Kendra, the fourth Kendra, the seventh Kendra, and the 10th Kendra. So, if these degrees are known, that will first see in this case 1, 2, 3, 4. In Taurus, there will be some degree, and this is Taurus 40.52 degrees it happens to be. So you go back here, and for 40.52 Taurus, if you get to see, Taurus is okay, Kritika, all these in fact are Taurus. 40.52 will come in this range. Okay, so O would be a letter for 40.52. That way O is pulled out here automatically by the system. For Lagna, the Chandra itself, Chandra is here, and for the Chandra Kendra, it turns out to be Sa. So it is the first house from Chandra, the fourth house from Chandra, the seventh house from Chandra, and the 10th house from Chandra. The letters exactly falling exactly at the moon's degree itself. The Kendra exact, by Kendra I mean adding 90 degrees is what I have added every year. So for the Chandra, this is the position of Chandra for the girl, and 90 degrees is added to get the other degrees. 90 and 180 degrees and 270 degrees are added. So I get the degree, and therefore based upon the Hoda chakra I get the letters. So these are supposed to give health, vitality, because Chandra determines the body and Kendra to Chandra gives vitality. So these letters are welcome for the child as a starting letter. But we'll have to weigh it against what we got here. If you see Sa is in Aquarius, this as per the Hoda chakra. And Sa, this is in fact a Badaka sign, because for Mesha it is a Badaka sign. So normally I would not prefer that much, and Saturn being the Badaka Lord, I would not go for this at all. If you see Taurian sign, that's also a second house, and I don't welcome it because it's a Maraka sign. Of course, it is fourth from our moon, but Jupiter is there. But still, I would not go for O's. May and Nu. This May is that of Saturn, because we know from here if you get to some start with the May, it will turn out to be Saturn. We don't prefer Saturn for this because these are the better planets. Nu is something okay because Nu comes under Jupiter, and I think maybe they have not they have used Niranjana, they have chosen. So that is one possibility. They can something. Scorpio still is the 8th bhava from the Lagna, so I won't prefer this. So as per Hoda chakra, maybe I will not choose any because it's not suiting that much. So I will leave out this technique. I will go by this technique. The third technique, so this essentially gives you the starting akshara. That is good to you. So essentially I would go of the three planets, Jupiter, Mars is also ruling the 8th house. So I might not go for it. Jupiter might be better, Sun is also good. So if I choose Sun, maybe all these are good. I preferred, okay, I think it is not choosing Sun here, in fact eliminating Sun. So you can click that here and then choose Sun. So Adhya is some name which I preferred because all these Sun are good. I left to them, of course. So this is one option where we do not go by the Hoda chakra because all these suggestions have some limitations. This being Saturn's, this being Taurian sign, which is the second Maraka house, this being Badaka house, and this being a Saturn's akshara. And this is good, Jupiter Akshara, but the 10th Kendra is Scorpio, which is the 8th house to the Lagna. So all these seem to be not very good. So I go by entirely this. And once the name itself is chosen, say some Arshia or Isha, you come to the Katapayadi system and just enter the, see, now it is Leela, say. La, you choose La for Li, and La again for La, Leela. So Leela, it turns out because the way it works is there are some numbers given here, then you have to reverse it. This 3 comes first, this 3 comes the next. So, and then the remainder divided by 12 will give you a number that will be the Nama Aruda. And the remainder divided by 9 and all these calculations will turn out to be Venus. So Leela is not a good name because Venus is not a good planet for this Lagna. So you discard this. So similarly, whatever you have chosen here, try it out with the Katapayadi, the full name. And then if it turns out to be Surya or Jupiter in this case, or Mars in this case, you prefer that name. That's this is one way of using my Excel, or there is a beautiful website called Katapayadi system, where nicely it is laid out for calculating whatever that Excel is doing in a better way. I think you give say Leela here and then put a submit button, but you have to be very careful in the aksharas. You have to use properly. Capital L will mean something, small l will seem something else. La, this is a la. So you will have to be careful. Small l is correct. Okay, and I think Ila. Okay, let us submit this. Forward is 33, the reverse sequence is 8, the house number is 9, and the house sign is Sagittarius. The same as what you saw in my Excel. So off see Ardra somewhere, Arshya, R is off sound. So those do not have values here, so you can neglect all the whole sounds, you can whole aksharas you can give here. So this is for the entire name selection, whereas this method is for the starting letter, and this is also for the starting letter. And this way you can use the Excel automatically just by giving the girl's details here, date of birth and time of birth. The main beauty about it is the way it is bringing out the Hoda chakra nicely. And also the Graga automation is also very nicely brought out here. So this automation would help you to name a child comfortably. Hope this is useful to people who have begotten a new baby, or even to astrologers to whom this request keeps coming. Download the Excel and give me feedback. Thank you very much.